Dave Van Horn is the head baseball coach of the Arkansas Razorbacks. He has been incredibly successful at multiple places in his career. Took Nebraska to multiple College World Series appearances, was one out away from winning the College World Series a few years ago, but didn't.
Did not.
That's got to sting. Number one overall seed last year, eliminated by NC State in Fayetteville. NC State got to the College World Series. The Arkansas Razorbacks did not. But one of the things that Dave Van Horn values is playing the game of baseball the right way. And if you follow Arkansas baseball Twitter, which is kind of like Vol Twitter or Michigan Twitter, I mean, it's out there a little bit. Especially after their series last year with Ole Miss, there was a lot of talk about playing baseball the right way. There is a level of decorum that is mandatory, not just necessary, but mandatory if you are going to play college baseball. Dave Van Horn talked a little bit more about this yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, I've talked to our team about that, about when we play other teams, there's a lot of, an old word, shenanigans going on in the dugouts and a lot of stuff that I don't think it really has a place in baseball, maybe other sports. It's one thing to get excited and cheer for your own team, and that's part of it. But as far as rah-rah and getting on the other team and acting the way some teams do, hey, if that's what they do, that's what they do. They run their own program. But, example in our league, I don't think Florida's good. They're like us. We respect each other. O'Sullivan and I, our comments are when we just play each other. We just play baseball. And there's some teams that it's a little different. And I appreciate him saying that. I feel like that's kind of his style too, and I think we need more of that. I think that's just the way this game's supposed to be played. You don't play once a week for 14 weeks or whatever. You get after it 3 and 4 times a week for 13, 14 weeks, and then you got playoffs. And there's a time to maybe let them go a little bit, and I've done that in the past when other teams are out of control and maybe it's not going good for us. I'll say, hey, I'm going to turn my head right now. You guys can get after them if you want to, because I've had enough. And that happened one time in conference last year after the first game of the year when it got a little chirpy and mouthy and about how great they were, and we won the next 2 games. So bottom line, whatever. So I appreciate that, and that's why I like playing them, because we're just going to play baseball and try to get better.
Dave Van Horn. By the way, the game that he was referring to was the SEC opener last year against Alabama. Alabama beat them 16-1 in the SEC opener, and then Arkansas backsided that series because you remember they won every single weekend in SEC play last year, 10 straight. Really, really hard to do.
That was a bunch of hypocritical.
I know you're salivating.
I'm gonna be easy today. It's been a long day already. That was a bunch of hypocritical nonsense, though. My dad, and look, I am not the man my dad is. My dad is a wonderful man. I probably disappoint him daily. He is as principled of a man as you can be. And he used to say the phrase that a lot of people say is character is not about what you do when other people are watching. And he used to always tell me, especially in sports, you act the way you act. And only you can control how you act. And do not let anybody else and what they do affect how you do things. What's right is right, and what you do should be what's right, regardless of what anybody else does. And here this guy is, talking about other teams doing it the wrong way. And we do it the right way here at Arkansas. And bringing Kevin O'Sullivan into that is hysterical.
That's my biggest concern with this is the Kevin O'Sullivan.
But
one of the biggest smack talkers there is in college baseball.
And that's being generous. But to say that you do things the right way and to call out other teams for the way they act and then say in the same minute and 47 seconds, well, when they do it, I turn my head around and let my players do it too. you hypocrite.
Yeah.
That's what you are. That's what that statement is. Well, when they do it, we do it too. That's not character. That's hypocrisy, is what that is. On top of the fact that your team constantly bat flips. I mean, I've been to games where Arkansas is playing. His dugout's chirping the whole freaking game, just like everybody else is. Maybe they don't do the bow and arrows and all that goofy stuff that has infiltrated college baseball, and a lot of it's probably going a little too far. But when your guys do it, and your guys bat flip, and your guys talk, and then you say yourself, I turn my head when the other team does it, you're a hypocrite who's wearing a cartoon pig on your shirt. And by the way, when fans walk into your game, they get to go see a real live pig in a cage outside. There's cheerleaders on the dugout. What are you talking about? The whole thing, it was laced with hypocrisy and just complete nonsense. Baseball's supposed to be fun. Your players have fun. So why is it wrong when other players have fun too?
Also, Borky, what's the name of that restaurant you like with the mozzarella sticks and the stuff on the wall?
Oh, you mean Shenanigans?
Yes. I love the word shenanigans so much. Nothing says grumpy old man like shenanigans. If I hear that somebody's complaining about shenanigans, I know that they have grayer hair than me.
You said you wanted to tag on to the end of Borky's thoughts?
The O'Sullivan thing is just incredible to me. It's like somebody complaining about the health crisis in this country and saying, when I go eat with Brian Haydad, we always have a salad. It's incredible that anybody would look in the eye and say that Kevin O'Sullivan is a model citizen over there in the dugout.
So I don't love the whole every time you get a double, you dance at second base. But whatever, right? I mean, they're having fun. There's actually something that he said in there that to me kind of flies in the face of what he said. He's like, we don't play just one game a week, 14 times a year. We're playing 3, 4, 5 games a week. Isn't that all the more reason that you need to kind of loosen up a little bit? You're playing 4 or 5 games a week. You can't just grind it out and not have fun. I get he's saying, look, you got to just be workmanlike. You can't get too high every single game. But come on, man. Come on. Enjoy it a little bit.